The Brew House was created to capture and share with you the long history of the Genesee Brewery. But the brewery itself isn't half as interesting as the beer and the people who make it. Visit GeneseeBrewHouse.com. Hi everyone, welcome into the Rochester Press Box presented by the Genesee Brew House. I'm Bill Pucko. Thanks for joining us. We are joined again by Kevin Oklobzija, the new Kevin Oklobzija now, the Amerks Hall of Fame Kevin Oklobzija. Wow. Welcome and congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I don't think I quite belong alongside those who are in.
He's 100% right.
100%. He doesn't belong.
All right.
See, they know.
Mike Catalana, who really knows his stuff, including his hockey.
Right.
Co-hosting with Pat Duffy. What are you wearing today?
Today we have our Shaquille O'Neal, Mitchell and Ness 93-94 All-Star jersey. Everyone knows All-Star jersey technology peaked in the NBA between 92 and 96.
Yeah.
That's Shaquille O'Neal's?
Yeah.
He wouldn't wear it sleeveless.
Should that fit so well?
I think it shrunk multiple times.
Kevin, let's talk some football. We're down to the Final Four. Sunday really kind of bailed us out as far as good football games. What do you think of what we have left?
Awesome matchup. Although I'm so sick of the Packers. I mean, I used to like them. I mean, I used to think it was okay. All right, great, they won. I'm tired of the Packers. Aaron Rodgers this, Aaron Rodgers that. It's like Brett Favre all over again. He's awesome. He really is. But please, let's see Atlanta win. I want something different. It can't be different in the AFC because it's the Patriots and the Steelers again. It's Ben and it's Tom and it's. I want something different. Give me somebody different.
You just said they were awesome matchups.
They are. That's why I want Atlanta to win that awesome matchup, though, to elevate themselves, which they're probably not capable of doing, but they can play some D.
Yeah, Atlanta is capable of winning the game, and you get what you want if you want Atlanta to win, and then we'll be bored for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, the truth is everybody wants to see, outside of Kevin, everybody wants to see Green Bay match up with one of those two teams in the Super Bowl game. And Rodgers, it's as close to, I'm not saying he's doing it all by himself. I mean, that's unfair to say because those guys are making great catches, and the defense came up with just enough stops and all in that game. But I'm telling you, that is not a great football team. That is a great player playing at the highest level he can play right now. And I'm looking forward to the game. And I think Matt Ryan's had a fantastic year. Can he do it in this setting against the best player in the game right now?
What do you think?
Well, I'm one of these guys that loves to compare generations, right? Like 90s quarterbacks to today. So Tom Brady is your Joe Montana, right? It has to stay that way. Ben Roethlisberger is your Troy Aikman. That sounds about right. Aaron Rodgers would be your Brett Favre, the way things are working out. There needs to be a Jim Everett forever. Matt Ryan is your Jim Everett, and if Matt Ryan goes to a Super Bowl, he is no longer your Jim Everett. It's going to be weird to have a week's worth or 2 weeks worth of Matt Ryan, just like it was odd and boring to have 2 weeks worth of Joe Flacco when he went. There needs to be someone with something behind them, and it's weird because I've heard multiple guys like Kevin say that they're sick of Aaron Rodgers. He plays the game the right way. He keeps his head down. He tries to keep his personal life to himself, and he's fantastic. What is there?
That's what's wrong. What is wrong? Yeah. Give me some controversy. Do something wrong.
Well, I think it's just we do.
By the way, if he's Jim Everett, who's Jim Rome?
Oh, you.
Now that you have the clout. I think we just don't know enough about Matt Ryan. I think the guy's going to be fine.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of what he is, Matt Ryan is a really good quarterback and a very good football player on a team that does a lot of things well. They can run the ball. Their defense comes up at times. You know, he's got Julio Jones when he's healthy is a great player. But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the last few weeks, I actually, I was in Philly for that Monday night game, and the Packers had been struggling. And he comes out in that game, and look, the Eagles didn't have any great defense, but I sat there and watched him. It was almost comical how accurate he was in that game. And he wasn't on this streak. He'd had one good game the week before. And he's dropping in like every pass. And you think to yourself, okay, you're not going to beat the guy when he's like that. And each week it has gotten better. It is absurd. The pass he threw to set up the winning touchdown is not luck with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that was a bullet down the sidelines.
A little bit of luck. The ball went out of bounds in their back. It is a little bit of luck.
You don't think he threw it like that?
Oh, you think it curved it on purpose? I don't think.
Darn right.
No, I don't think he bent it like that.
It was a better catch than it was a throw, I think.
Oh, it was a great throw, though. 45 yards in the air.
their line is unbelievable. I mean, I understand he dances away from some guys.
They're lying.
Listen to this. Their offensive line, the pass play, the Cowboys couldn't even get near him.
Well, the Cowboys don't have a great pass rush to begin with, but Rodgers makes plays.
He does. But look, the time he still gets when he's on the move, and they still don't get anywhere near him.
Let's go around quickly and pick it. What do you got in these two games?
I do like the Patriots. Steelers, I've thought they'd get beat. I just like Belichick at home with all the cards. And, that extra day and a half that the Steelers are talking about.
And you already picked on the Packers, right?
No. I'm taking Atlanta. They're at home. I like their D. They have some wheels. They have some speed. They have some quickness.
Yeah. Who you got? All right. Well, I'm taking Green Bay to win because Rodgers is playing the way he is. And I'm taking New England to win the game because I don't have the faith in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needed to play New England in the last playoff game. They needed it to match up that way, even though Pittsburgh didn't score a touchdown in that game. New England could have been a little vulnerable. You get them at home, AFC Championship game. I think, and Pittsburgh sort of shrinks a little bit in those games, at least against New England. I'm going to have to take New England and Green Bay.
Green Bay's going. The fact that they kicked 5 field goals, 6, whatever it was last week, tells me that the Steelers will win this game. They're gritty, tooth and nail. They're going to do whatever it takes. Steelers, Packers, Super Bowl.
Beginning of the playoffs, I liked Atlanta, New England. I haven't changed.
All right.
Oh, picking the
Surprise.
Really,
picking the
picking New
Patriots.
England. But you do know America wants Pittsburgh to win, right?
That really is of no consequence to me.
Roger Goodell does.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the Rochester Press Box presented by the Genesee Brew House. We'll talk about the Bills next. The Press Box, brought to you in part by Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys. Call 262-COMP, C-O-M-P, today. Welcome back to the Rochester Press Box, presented by the Genesee Brew House. This portion brought to you by Connors and Ferris. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. A week ago, we were just on the verge of hiring the new coach. We got the new coach, and Anthony Lynn winds up with the Chargers. Who got the better deal?
Oh, I think McDermott got the better deal. I mean, I get the feeling that this Anthony Lynn deal is a 2-year, we need somebody until we move into this billion-dollar stadium kind of deal. I think Anthony Lynn took this job in Los Angeles because he wanted to be a head coach desperately. I don't think it was the best job Anthony Lynn could have taken. I think it would have been smarter for Anthony Lynn to wait, but people have different priorities. I see him as a Greg Williams type where he gets his 2 years, it doesn't go well, and we never hear of Anthony Lynn head coaching ever again. Wow. But, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I agree with everything you said, and it's a shame for Anthony Lynn. I think it might be a 1-year deal. That's going to be such a mess there. This is what happens sometimes in the NFL. And I think, who knows what's going to happen with Phillip Rivers. They don't have a real fan base now. They've alienated the people in San Diego. They don't have a fan base in L.A. There's a time to make that deal if you want to with Rivers. This is the time to do it. Then what's he going to be left with? He'd be an easy scapegoat if there's somebody, O'Brien or somebody that's available next year. I feel for the guy, but I'm happy he got a job. I hope he does great. I hope he does very well, but I think it's a very tough spot for him.
It's a great bar bet. Who lasts longer, Anthony Lynn or, Sean McDermott, both hired at the same time, but you guys
I don't think there's any question.
It's already won?
I mean, unless there was unless some scandal broke out in Buffalo, McDermott's going to be there.
Yeah.
They cannot keep doing this.
He's 100% right.
Keep making changes.
They have done it the last, certainly Marone did it to them, and then Rex, they took care of it in their own way. I agree. I think McDermott's going to get more of a leash this way, and they look more stable than the Chargers. That tells you something, because the Chargers, that's a really, really tough spot.
What are our impressions of McDermott? I mean, you're supposed to love him when he's hired because that's the way everything is spun. What do we think, though, like a week into it? Do you like the hire?
Well, it's funny, like you hear all these guys, like, finally a guy who's going to, be disciplined and hold the players accountable. Here's a little tip for you folks that, think that these guys that make millions of dollars are they're high school kids. They're not. You can't hold millionaire NFL players accountable because if you're going to punish him and then send him on his way, he's going to find somebody else to pay him his money somewhere else.
Well, one guy can. There's one guy in the NFL who can.
Who's that?
Bill Belichick.
Okay.
He has total control.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin probably can too, except his coaching staff.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, these you see these fans that want these coaches to scream in these guys' faces on the sideline because that's what they deserve. You can't do that here. It doesn't work that way. So if this is that guy,
that's not what discipline is in the NFL. It's about playing time. It's about accountability to do your job. And if you don't do your job, you don't play.
And he will. I think he does it from within the room.
I agree
He lets
with
the
you.
room rule.
I would agree, and I think the right kind of player. It's a shame because they do have the right kind of players. A few of them this past year. You look. McCoy was fantastic this year. Kyle Williams on defense. It's a shame about Aaron Williams, depending on what he'll do in the future. But you had some of the right guys. The shame of it is some of the other ones didn't always follow suit. Now, I don't think accountability of these players is screaming and yelling. When fans say that, in the Bill Cowher days, you could do that. It's a different world. But you can hold them accountable, and you can have a little more discipline in how you play on the field. I hope that's what he brings.
This is the Rochester Press Box, and this portion brought to you by Connors and Ferris. We'll be back. The Press Box Trivia Question brought to you by Sleep City. Queen adjustable bed with memory foam mattress, now $977. Save over $500. Shop Rochester's only locally owned mattress store. No pressure, no hassle sales experience. Here's a look at the Press Box Trivia answer brought to you by Sleep City. Queen adjustable bed with memory foam mattress. Now $977. You save over $500. Shop Rochester's only locally owned mattress store. No pressure, no hassle sales experience. See New York in a whole new way. Amtrak is offering a 15% discount for all travel inside New York State and to Montreal. Visit Amtrak.com for the See New York discount. Safe, comfortable, affordable, and easy. Amtrak. Enjoy the journey. Welcome back. This is the Rochester Press Box brought to you by the Genesee Brew House, and this portion is brought to you by Amtrak Trains. Enjoy the journey. Kevin, like it or not, the new Hall of Fame class for the Rochester Americans.
Scott Nickel absolutely deserves. Really. That guy embodied what the Amers were about. 6 years, he was all about just go, go, go. Play hard, play hard. The Calder Cup against Portland in '96, last minute, whatever the game, he was on a line with Dan Frawley, Scott Metcalf. Pirates could not get out of their own end. I've never heard a building louder than that. I know it was a small building with 7,000 people, whatever. Unbelievable atmosphere, and Scotty Nickel was a whole big part of that.
And there was another guy, right? Some other guy.
It's just,
He never made a save. Couldn't stop him.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Duffy, like it or not, Antonio Brown stunt this week on Facebook Live.
Well, I mean, I love it from our perspective, right? Like, it avoids the whole Steelers versus Patriots, Tom Brady. Now we have something to talk about for the next week, and this is going to happen. Right? This is actually a good thing for the NFL. You have access inside a locker room for a speech that you weren't supposed to get. As much as they're going to pretend that this is a bad thing, the access that we as fans got, what these guys are actually like when no one's around. Antonio Brown did a favor for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as they're going to discipline him, as much as they think it's a bad thing, you got an inside look. What's there not to like? That's what you want your coach to say about a team you're playing in the playoffs.
100%. This is a whole lot of nothing. And the Patriots know that's exactly what they are. That's what everybody thinks about them. They take pride in that. What do they think? Mike Tomlin's publicly is going to say, oh, they're the greatest, whatever. Go after New England. I think it's a whole lot of nothing. And then Mike Tomlin comes out and actually apologizes for his language. He's an NFL coach in a locker room.
He can't really have liked having that done, though.
I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't think I realistically don't think they care. I think it's just because it's public. So everybody gets
That's
excited
the
about it.
stupidest single thing I can think
I
of.
think it's a whole lot of-
It wasn't smart,
Yeah.
obviously.
Whole
but-
lot of nothing. No
Yeah.
impact at all on the game. None.
And the
on
Patriots
game.
aren't going to use this as some
Nothing.
fuel, please.
Nothing.
These
Mike,
are big boys.
like it or not, Roger Goodell, the commissioner.
I'm all
goes to
over
Atlanta
Goodell.
back-to-back
I'm all over
times.
Goodell all the time. This is the right thing for him to do. Why put yourself through that to go to Foxborough? They hate you there. Go to Atlanta. They haven't had a championship game there. You're going to be stuck maybe handing the trophy to Kraft in a few weeks. Don't go this week. No one wants you there except to yell at you. Go to Atlanta. Have some barbecue.
Couldn't he have gone nowhere, though? Because he went to Atlanta the week before. This makes it clear as day that I'm afraid to go
So
there.
who cares? Nobody likes him in Foxborough anyhow.
Well, and it's the last game in the Georgia Dome, so there's
Yeah,
no reason to
he's
go.
got that.
Well,
there we go.
That's like Lambeau closing down.
How can you be a man? You show up in New England, you're a man. He says, I don't
Listen to this
care.
Patriots
Please.
lover over here. Jeez.
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, no, you beat the Patriots again?
No, really. Don't you think that's a good look if he goes to New England and says,
Nope.
forget that?
No, nobody's going to forget it. All he's going to do is get abuse. Nobody cares.
But you don't like Roger Goodell.
I don't
You
like
to
him, but
see
if
that?
I'm him, I would still go to Atlanta this week. You're going to be stuck with him in 2 weeks.
I'd walk the sideline of New England.
See, there's a guy. Because he's a hockey guy.
But I'd walk the Steelers side.
This is the Rochester Press Box, presented by the Genesee Brew House. This portion brought to you by Amtrak Trains. Enjoy the journey. Unfinished business is next. The Press Box Stat of the Week brought to you by Fiondoc and Fiondoc. Remember, if you've made the wrong choice, it's time to make the right choice. Fiondoc and Fiondoc, New York's DWI leader for over 35 years. Visit nydwi.com. Dunkin's specialty crafted coffees, macchiato, latte, Americano, and cold brew, made to make your day. America runs on Dunkin'. Welcome back to the Rochester Press Box, presented by the Genesee Brew House. This is Unfinished Business, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Pat, start us off.
So what was it? A couple of years ago, it was when is that sad day going to come when Jim Boeheim is going to retire from the Syracuse basketball team? And it might be at the point now, based on how this season is going. When is the relief going to come when Jim Boeheim retires from the Syracuse basketball team? A team where Jim Boeheim said this season, for one of the only times in his career, this is one of the best teams I've ever had, and they are underperforming unbelievably. Losing to Boston College a couple weeks ago. What was that, their first ACC win in like the last 63 tries? This team is not good, and it's not because there's not talent. They're not buying into the zone or whatever the heck excuse they're going to have. Boeheim's ruining his legacy here. There are people that want to hate Jim Boeheim, and they're pointing to what's happening here as him not being the coach that everyone thought he was, like having talent that he picked, and this is the stuff that's doing it for him. He's hurting the program moving down the road. You're not going to be able to recruit who you have to for the guy that's behind you, and I know Boeheim isn't going to want to do it this way. He's always chasing that one last season to ride out on his white horse. This could be it. This should be it. And I think it's time to hand it over to the rightful coach for the last 10 years.
I'll give you a piece.
I would say, look at him. Last year, he took a pretty average team and got him to the Final Four. He did a great job there. I think even he's surprised this team hasn't responded to him. I'm surprised. I thought they had talent, too. Normally, he would do well with guys who are a little bit older. And honestly, Andrew White, I think, has played pretty well. But the rest of the guys, and they can't keep anybody off the boards. You saw in that North Carolina game. It's just brutal for him.
Because you always have a Jim Boeheim comment. I really wanted to hear what you had to say.
I actually kind of feel for him a little bit this year.
Feel
He's not
for
going to
him?
ruin his legacy.
How do you feel for a guy like
But
that?
I think he may be, if he wanted to leave, he would have done that last year when he was in the Final Four.
Our new Hall of Famer.
The great matchup. It was billed as the Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, first time they've ever played against each other, and boy, the Leafs got the best of them, so obviously Austin Matthews is better. No, the surrounding cast is better. The Leafs, who started their rebuild and admitted it, they tanked last season. They said, we're starting over, we're just going to build with some of the things we have, and then we'll get the right pieces in place. They're on the 401 through Ontario right now, and they are in the fast lane, and the Sabres, for some reason, can't figure out you get to drive faster. They are fallen far behind. A team that started their rebuild 3 years ago, the Leafs have caught them, passed them, and zoomed right on by. And the pressure's on in Buffalo right now. I mean, the Rex Ryan debacle, that took some of the pressure, some of the heat off of the Bilesma, Tim Murray tandem. Well, it's on now because this team better start performing.
Aaron Williams' father came out this week and basically said he thinks his son's going to come back and play. And I'm worried about the guy. Look, it's a tough game. We all know it's a tough game. The players put themselves in great physical danger anytime they're playing. But Aaron Williams is maybe a notch above that. We're talking about a guy that's had head injuries and certainly neck injuries. And you saw what happened with Landry's hit on him down in Miami this year. Aaron Williams, I love watching him play. I love his story. I love the fact that he was a bust as a corner, moved himself to safety, and was a huge difference maker. He's great with the fans. He's great with us, too. He's a guy who loves the game. But he's the kind of guy you worry about going long term. I know he's excited about Sean McDermott in that defense. Maybe he can come back. But fans should be worried about a guy like that going forward. A lot of danger in continuing to play. I hope he knows what he's doing. I'd like to see him walk away and be healthy, but if he wants to play, he's got to try to be safe.
That's really rooting for the player.
The guy. I think he's a good guy. I'd like to see him do well.
This portion of the original Rochester Press Box brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Kevin, thank you very much, and congratulations again for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's great to be here.
Mike?
Thank you.
Pat?
No.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Rochester Press Box.